Experiencing new games for the first time is one of, if not the main reason for playing games. We all want to have that sense of exploration and not knowing what is going to happen. But if this is the case, why do many of us find ourselves replaying old games? This question has bothered me for years, so I finally started thinking about it and researching it to find out why we My immediate thought is that we replay games just because we had so much fun with them and we want to experience that again. But as I started researching for this video, I realized that this isn't the only reason we play games again and again. A very big reason that we like to replay games is because of the sense of comfort it brings us. We know exactly what to expect and how it goes. But wouldn't this make us not enjoy it as much because we know any plot twists and what happens to every character? This is the case for some people, but for most it provides predictability in our very unpredictable lives. This can help us when we are stressed or anxious about something. It gives us the same soothing feeling that our families giving us hugs does. This is because we know it and we are comfortable with it and know what to expect when it happens. If it is the case that you are replaying a game, you likely have positive emotions associated with the game, and that will enhance the feeling of comfort. Replaying games also means that since we know what is going to happen, we don't have to take in and process new information, which can help us relax even further. If you find yourself replaying the same game over and over, this is because it provides a sense of order in the world. A big personal reason for replaying games is because of the sheer choice of games at my disposal, and that they are more constantly releasing. Why risk spending money on a new game when you could replay a game that you already know you love? When new games are constantly releasing, how are you supposed to know which ones are worth your time without spending your time on them? This feeling restricts us because most of us have limited time for gaming and we can't just be constantly playing games, so we want to make the time that we do spend gaming worth it and very enjoyable for ourselves. The uncertainty that comes with so many choices puts us into a state of stress and anxiety, and then we just reach for any source of comfort, which in this case is a game that we have played many times already. Another reason that people find themselves replaying old games is because they think that most new releases are not very good, and with the volume of games released each month, they are generally in the right to assume this is the case. At the pace that studios are churning out games, there is bound to be some bad ones, and on the scale that this is happening, some bad ones turn into lots of bad ones. This being said, I do not think that all new releases are bad. In fact, I think that most new games are quite good and enjoyable. It doesn't help that when remakes release, most people think that it is a dumb idea, and the original is better anyways, and then they don't bother playing the new version. Although there are benefits that I've talked about, and will talk about, I would like to make the point that replaying games isn't all good. Replaying games results in my and many other gamers' backlogs expanding because if they decide to just replay a game, but still buy new games, then the backlog expands and then we get more stressed because there are so many games on our backlogs, and then this stress results in us wanting to feel a sense of comfort, which leads us to replaying games, and this cycle just keeps repeating and making our backlogs balloon even more than they used to be. Breaking free from this behavior is hard, but you can do it. Just like any other habit, it requires consistency. So before you reach for that game you have played so many times before, stop and take a second to think about the feelings that game gave you, but doesn't feel the same anymore, and start playing a new game to find those feelings the old one gave you. We need to be able to move on if we want to do anything in life, and that fact is no different with playing games. Another reason I find myself replaying games is because of the memories I have attached to it. This could be a game that I played when I was really young, and playing it again makes me feel some semblance of having that back, or it could just be a game that I played with my family and those experiences that we shared while playing it, and the replaying of said game brings some of those feelings back. Of course, what I'm talking about is nostalgia. This can be both a good and a bad thing. Good, because we can have a feeling like we are back in the past, and that can make us happy, but bad, because this makes us stuck in the past and not seeking out new experiences because we are worried it won't give us the same feeling that we know we can get from doing something that we have already done before. When we are stressed, nostalgia can have a very calming effect on us, but we don't always want to be nostalgic because this can lead to stagnance and the feeling of not actually doing anything. Sometimes, when we replay games, we realize that they are not as good as we remember them, and this can make us disappointed because we remember having such a good time with them, but we can't seem to recapture those same feelings, and this can make us feel very sad because we just wanted to re-experience those memories that are so integral to us. This whole process leads to you having cherished memories tainted by looking at them through a new lens of life, whether that be getting older, advances in technology making old games feel small and sloppy compared to new ones that you could be playing. Now, time for the saddest part of this. Replaying the same game over and over, or even just playing the same genre of games to an extent, can lead you to getting bored. In this lies the problem of us feeling that gaming isn't what it used to be, and that maybe we just grew up and those dreams and hard work of saving up for a new computer and buying it were all just a blip in our younger selves. This can make us feel empty inside, and like all the time and money that we have spent on gaming was actually just a waste. In actuality, this feeling comes from the fact that over time, if you keep playing the same game or games over and over, you will eventually get bored of them, and think that all gaming has gone downhill. But if you go out of your way to find and play new games, you may find a new favorite that will form new memories just like the old ones. It's the same as any hobby you have in life. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, it eventually will get boring and you will want to start doing something different. And what happens? You start enjoying your hobby again and rediscover why you had so much fun with it in the first place. And that feeling is magical. I hope you enjoyed the video and decide to try some new games the next time you think of replaying a game. If you did enjoy, please consider leaving a like and subscribing as it helps out a ton. Have a good one and good gaming to you all.